Welcome back to Big South Basketball Media Day. Kevin McGeehan is here, head coach of the Campbell Fighting Camels.
You got it.
Best name in all of sport. There is no other Campbells anywhere.
There are not.
And I know that selling point for that team. All right, you're into year two now. What are you expecting in year two?
Well, I think, one of the biggest things that we looked at during the off season was we really need to improve our defense. I thought we conceptually handled things, as far as our movement. We just weren't sound enough and tight enough last year. And so for the first time in my coaching career, we spent a lot of time in the spring, summer and fall breaking down our defense into parts and really trying to solidify it. And I think that's going to help us, and it's going to also help our rebounding because we'll be in better position.
In this league, there are a lot of good scorers. You have to shut down.
No doubt about it. And last year we actually had to come up with some sort of tricks to try to buy some, some smoke and mirrors to try to help us get through some games. And I think now we'll be much more sound based on what we've kind of accomplished in the offseason.
Now, offensively, you do return a couple of double-figure scorers. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about them and what you expect from this year.
Yeah, Rico had a terrific conference year. It's unfortunate. He had a rough start, and for his first 9 or 10 games, he was just not himself and not what I had seen coming in. And then he kind of hit his groove when we hit conference play. Had about a month where he was terrific. Won 2 Player of the Week honors.
Right.
And statistically, if you looked at him on just his Big South numbers, they were really, really good. So I was happy with how he finished the season, and at times he really carried us. He's just a dynamic scorer in that he can kind of score in different ways. He can score a little bit inside. He can score outside. He's good at driving to the basket. He gets steals. He does a lot of things. He's a good passer. He's a dynamic player. And then DJ Mason, who was out for a stretch of the season, and only really played in about 4 or 5 Big South games, is really, really a good player. I mean, he can score inside. He can make a 3-point shot. He rebounds hard. He's a really, really good player.
In the 20 games that he did play, he only started one of those games. Is he going to be a starter for you this year?
Yeah, he'll start this year.
And you talk about Rico McCarter. He's a redshirt senior.
Right.
Usually those guys are your leaders on the team. Is that kind of his role too?
Yeah, absolutely. I think just having played a lot of college basketball and, especially being in year 2 with myself and my coaching staff, I think that really helps the guys who are older feel confident in how they're trying to lead us, because they know what it all means in the landscape of college basketball and also within what we're trying to do. Andrew Ryan's exactly the same in that he's a 5th-year senior who's just been a starter and sort of, probably the next scorer on the list, and he's ready to sort of take that with Rico.
It's not that your offense is different, so to speak, but it is intricate. It is sometimes, I don't want to use the word complicated, but it does take some work. Do you feel now in year 2 that the guys on this team really kind of now have more of an idea of what you want to do offensively?
I feel that way. I'm going to let you be the judge. But,
okay.
We're definitely more. There's more understanding of the whys, and what we did a lot in the off season was, rather than just trying to run them through what are the sets. We said, okay, the ball's staying on, let's say, the right side of the court, and we said, let's score there. Figure out how to score there. So we forced them to figure out how to score, and what we started to find and then fine-tune was a lot of just aggressive basketball plays within our framework, which wasn't necessarily getting to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, but saying, hey, go off that ball screen looking to score, throw it to the roller, throw it to the guy back. Throwback guy, and I think what's coming out of that is some good instinctual aggressive basketball.
All right, as we close out here, last year was your first look at the Big South as a league. Your impression of the Big South now heading into year 2?
Highly competitive, and I think a very underrated league in college basketball's landscape right now. Really, really competitive top to bottom, some outstanding coaches and really, really good players. I mean, I think, I mentioned a bunch toward the end of last season. We ended up playing in 6 one possession game, where we had a shot to win or tie the game on the last possession. We lost all those. Yeah. And you know who those were against? Coastal, High Point, right. Radford. Those were all the best teams in the league and the guys that are picked. So I think there's very little difference between the bottom and the top as far as the preseason rankings.
Kevin, good luck to you and the Fighting Camels. I love that name.
You got it.
Campbell
Thanks,
Camels
Mike.
getting ready to hit the hardwood soon. We'll have more from here in Charlotte in a moment.